Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. Today's nugget is find your place. Now, when we study the marketing mix, there are 4 P's. Well, there are actually 7 P's, but the marketing mix generally focus on 4, right? Because as I said in one previous video, we don't have any control over people, we don't have control over the process, and we don't have control over some of the processes, okay? But we do have control over the place, we have control over the price, we have control over the promotion, and we have control over the product. Now, I have already spoke about the price. I've already spoken about the product. Today I'm looking at the place. Now, every one of us must find our place. Now, there are some plants that don't grow everywhere you place them. In fact, if you find a polar bear, right, in Jamaica, it's not because that it is its natural domain. In fact, if you find certain animals in the UK, you will realize that they are not indigenous to the UK. They are out of their place. Not that they can't survive, it's just that they will struggle to survive. That is how we are in life. We as individuals are going to have to find our place. If we don't find our place, then we are not going to be as successful as we are to be. In fact, if you look at the ecosystem, there are some plants, right? If they are brought into the environment of other plants, the other plants kill them. They can't grow in that area because it's not one of those areas where they will survive. Why? Because it's an area where the other plant has superiority. It's an area where the other plant has its own domain. And because of that, we are very territorial. We'll protect our domain. And as a result of that, we won't grow. All right? We won't survive. So I'm saying to you in this nugget, find your place. Now, when you look at the 4 P's, right? In the 4 P's, it tells you that if you have a product, the place is where that product will be found, where the customer can locate the product, right? Now, if let's say, and that is one another reason I had said that we need to define what kind of product we are, because if it's a service oriented product, right? It has to be close to the customer. It has to be in a position where the customer can easily access it because it is what is done to the customer. It's what the customer derive after the experience. However, if it's a goods, right, and being a goods, it means that the service can be had from a distance. Okay, so based on the product that you have, it can be something you do from home, or it has to be something you go to the office to do, or something that you have to do on the field. So you have got to define your product. Now, I was taught some years ago while studying at the university that there are some products, right, that the customer don't even have to know where it is created, where the location of its creation, right? So the person who owned that product can have the plant in some backwoods for all we care. The plant can exist out in the desert. Why? Because the customer will never come there. However, if you have a product, that, for example, a supermarket chain, it cannot be out in the desert. It cannot be out in the wilderness. It has to be in a place where persons can easily access it, where the use of it can be readily accepted. Now, also, when you talk about the place, right? A product can be in a particular place. Okay. Now, if you have to put the product in a store, what kind of store? Some things you will never find it in some places. Okay, so if you go to, let's say, an hardware store, you know what is sold there. You would not go to an hardware store to find a bread. And that is how life is. Until we are able to find our place, we're not going to be successful as we are supposed to be. That is how life is. Many of us don't know our place. And, as a child growing up, my grandmother used to say, boy, know your place. And she used to say that when adults come around, right? It means that when the adults come, you must move and go to where children are. Now, that is significant to me. Why? Because when you know your place, you know what will cause you to succeed. You know what will cause you to fail. You know who are with you. I said it in a previous video that not everybody is able, right, to be with you on the growth part, right? Some persons can only come alongside you after you have become successful. They can't grow you. And as a result of that, if you remain around them, you will never grow. Why? Because they will never give you the opportunity to grow. So you have got to find your place and grow to the level that you know you are supposed to grow. All right. Another aspect to knowing your place is simply this. When you know your place, right, you can say to yourself as to everybody else, when they ask you to do something, you can readily say, this is not at my level yet. All right. Because I know where I'm at now, I'm able to say I am not at that place yet. And what you could do, if you choose to say I can do it, you might not be able to do it at the moment, but because you are quick at learning and you are willing to give yourself the opportunity to learn, the distance between the time of performance and the time when you were asked, you can use that time to prepare yourself to properly take and make use of the opportunity. Not a lot of us can do that, but I will say to you, in a time where information is accessible and in a time where you can readily learn certain things, don't be quick to say, I can't do it. Right? There are so many things that we can learn by reading books. There are so many things that we have at the disposal of the internet now, right? And social media has given us a wonderful opportunity to learn so many things that we would never have learned if we keep saying that we can't do. So when we know our place, we know our limitation. Once upon a time, I had said to somebody, you are investing in a dream. And what do I mean by that? At the time, I never had any money. I didn't have the education that I have now. I didn't have the kind of confidence that I have now. And I said to the person, listen, you're investing in a dreamer. Why? Because in the future, I am going to become better. I am going to work at me and become better. I knew where I was at that time. Right? But the person could not wait until I'm mature enough to get to this place where I could make a meaningful contribution to their lives. So they pack up and leave. But the bottom line to it for me is when you know where you are, when you know your place, right, you're able to put yourself in a proper position that others can reach you, you can reach others because you know where you're going, you know where you're coming from, and you know your limitations and you know your shortcomings and you can work on them. You know when to, in other words, to blow your own horn, and you know when to say, this is not my level. Right? But this nugget in saying know your place is not saying to you that you should place any limitation on yourself. Because guess what? There are some places, as I said before, you can't grow in them. So you're going to have to learn how to move. There are some persons you can't grow around them. And there are some individuals you can't grow without them. So you need to find those individuals. And sometimes in order to find the individuals that you can grow with, you have to leave the individuals that you can't grow with. There is a song that I found rather interesting. I don't sing it because, of course, I'm a gospel person. But I love the song, and it says, I had to lose you to find me, right? I had to hate you to love me. And sometimes that is how life is. When we know our place, we have got to give up certain things so that we can move towards certain things. As I said, if you exist in certain environment, the environment itself will kill you. right? You will not make a sale. Nobody can access you. Nobody can know where you are. So you need to move from that place to the place where you should be, because in moving to the place that you should be, you grow into the person that you are to become, and you're better able to experience life and see life through the eyes of somebody who know their truthful position. This is JAW saying to you, know your place. Because when you know your place, right, you don't, yes, there might be competitors around you, but when you know your place, guess what? You're able to deal with the competitors. You know who is around you, who is for you, and who is against you to some degree, and you're better able to grow. So as you learn and seek to find out your place, this is JAW saying to you, like, subscribe, share. God bless you. Bye.